There are many kinds of innovation, and this is what we want to learn and talk about in this video module. So if we structure types of innovation, one first differentiation is regarding the outcome of the innovation process. We can distinguish product, services, or process innovation. Product innovation is somehow the natural object of innovation if we talk about it. And very often we also use the term new product development instead of innovation management in the literature to really refer to the process of developing new products. And really we talk about the tangible output of a product. And those can be improved offerings, other variants, or really radical new products. Examples are the iPod, the Post-it, or any new pharmaceuticals. Very much related to products, but still a little bit different, are services and service innovation. The outcome is a new service offering. Think about a new telephone banking process, a new logistics service. Sounds simple? Well, it is. But actually, the systematic study and planning of service innovation is rather new, as very often new services just came to the market. Someone in marketing or sales was thinking about it, but they were not part of a structured process. But like 10 years ago or so, companies started to introduce systematic service development processes. Finally, there's process innovation. Process innovation concerns the way how companies conduct their business, how they produce, how they market their products. The objective very often is to improve the efficiency of value creation, to say it in an aggregated way. An example could be a new assembly line, or think about airlines using e-tickets instead of paper tickets. This was a typical process innovation, which then in turn really improved the efficiency of the thing and then enabled new services for consumers. Think of an airline app where you download your ticket on, you can now easier forward it, book for others, and so on. There's an important relationship between product and process innovation. And this one was shown by Jim Atterbeck at MIT, one of the really core scholars of innovation management. And Jim showed many years ago actually, that when we have here the time or the maturity of an industry, and here the overall degree of activities conducted in innovation in an industry, that it most in the cases it starts with product innovation. So if a new product category comes to the market, the majority of activities really is on innovating and improving the products. Well, we have to invest also in the process, mainly the manufacturing process of being able to manufacture it, but only later over time, if there really is higher maturity in this industry, the degree of activities in process innovation is above the degree of innovation for product innovation. Can you think about why is this? Why does it take so much time before we start to invest in process innovation? Well, one core reason is that we need something what we call a dominant design. Only if really we know how the product gestalt is, how it looks like, how the characteristic, its architecture is, only if this is fixed, we really can to engage in inventing and improving the production processes. Another reason is that with growing maturity, the product comes into price competition. And if it's really cost and price what we have to optimize, it's sometimes the product, but mainly the processes, how we produce and sell these products which are become object of innovation. Another very famous distinction and very important distinction is this between radical and incremental innovation regarding the degree of innovativeness, also the degree of uncertainty. Let's first define this term. So in the innovativeness of an innovation process, but also of an innovation outcome, is characterized by the number of elements in a system affected by the innovation and the resulting uncertainty in performing the innovation project and diffusing its outcomes. So we can have two perspectives on this. The one is the outcome. So a new product can be really radical new, or it can be just an incremental improvement of merit. But at the same time, the degree of innovativeness is a very important planning variable when we set up an innovation project. So it defines the objective, what we want to achieve. We engage in an innovative activity, and before we do so, we have to have an understanding how novel it should be, how radical it should be. If we look on the outcome, we really distinguish these two main kinds of innovation. So radical discontinuous innovations are those that are often new to the world and fundamentally different to existing products or processes. They are very risky. There's a lot of uncertainty concerning the technology, the market acceptance, the demand, perhaps also the regulation. Think about satellite phone technology. This was a technology that was launched many years ago and failed. But currently a lot of companies are investing again large amounts of money in putting different satellites up to the sky that you really have coverage all over the world where you don't have cell phone capacity available. And this is something which really has a lot of uncertainty, high risk, and when it would be there, it will be a very different kind of telephone service. Another example, more on the incremental continuous innovation side, is just the development of the next software package. It's not just the next version. And even if very often the software company sells it as a next big thing, for users it's just a little bit of a variation of something they already know. So an incremental innovation is a gradual change or improvement of an existing offering. And this is very much leveraging the existing skills and knowledge of the organization. So let's change the perspective on the degree of innovativeness, not so much on the outcome, we'll come back to this later, but on the input and really managing innovation based on the expected desired degree of innovativeness, the result. So think about it. Why is it important for a manager of an innovation project to define the perceived expected degree of innovation when setting up the project? Well, there are many reasons. First, we really have to know what is our budget and how much time we have to schedule. Depending on what are really the information requirements, information we have to build or to obtain to solve these problems. How do we have to compose our team? If we just want an incremental improvement, well, we may have a functional team of very experienced people. If we want to create something radical new, we may compose our team with people that did not work for our company, that are outsiders, that really bring a fresh perspective to this project. How much involvement of stakeholders do we need? In just an incremental innovation, we probably don't have to involve too many stakeholders as the product or process is known. While if we want to come up with something radical, we have to think at a very early time in really integrating stakeholders in this. Another reason how we internally communicate the project, how we manage the risk in it, and so on. But also, before we launch a product after the invention process has been finished, we have to evaluate the outcome. It's also definitely the marketing planning, our communications budget, the sales and the launch execution are different for a radical product or an incremental product. So you will see that the degree of innovativeness is a very important contingency, a defining factor when managing innovation. Let's look a little bit into practice. In a typical large consumer good company, some scholars measured the different degree of innovativeness of their products, and you see there a little bit more granular differentiation. Just 10% of the new products were really new to the world, really new products, which we always have in the objective if we talk about innovation, but we always have to keep in mind these really radical new to the world products are really rare, also in a company. Often more you have new to the firm products that are already existing in the market, but that bring the firm into a new category for it. Very often, and this is somehow the bread and butter of managing innovation, are additions to existing product lines or just improvements and revisions of existing products. Definitely more than 50% of all innovative activities in a company. And then there are some specific classes like repositioning. So we had a product that was already in one market and we bring it into a different use. Bayer, the German pharmaceutical company, is famous for using aspirin as a headache medication and repositioning it as a safeguard against heart attacks. And then you have exactly the old product, but it's more a marketing innovation, and in an increasing extent, innovation also has the objective to really enable cost reduction. It could be by exchanging components, materials, doing cost engineering, engaging in process innovation. So important to remember is innovation is not only radical discontinuous innovation, but in most of the instances is just making something what already is existing better or cheaper.